Welcome back. You know, kids are more willing to try new and exciting recipes if they can jump in and cook. A new cookbook can open up the whole family's palate to recipes from Mexico, France, Italy, Africa, the Middle East, China, Japan. Any more? No, that's it.
The author of Cool World Cooking, Lisa Wagner, is here to tell us about the book and share one of the featured recipes. Thank you, Lisa, for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me. Would you like to take a little trip to France today?
Oh, yes, I would, actually. I would love to take a trip. And so we have recipes from all these different cultures in the book?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And it's a way that kids can learn about other kids around the world, learn something about the countries kind of painlessly, and make wonderful dishes for their families and for themselves, and get that confidence that comes from learning how to cook.
And there are plenty of cookbooks for adults, but what inspired you to make a cookbook for children?
Well, the easy answer is because I had such a good time cooking when I was a kid, and it's something really fun that kids can do, and the payoff is instant. They get to eat it, they can share it with people, but really it's going to help them with a life skill that a lot of their parents don't really have a comfort zone in passing it along. They might not know how to cook either, so we're trying to, get kids to kind of lead the charge. And many of these things, they're designed for kids that are in the third, fourth, fifth grade, but even the youngest kids can help. Play the get the ingredients for me game, get the tools for me game, that kind of thing. So I just wanted them to grow up cooking.
And it is what we said at the very beginning. Kids are more willing to eat something, either if it's healthy or whatever the case may be, if they actually get their hands in on it, because then they're like, oh, I made that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of what we're doing today is a little bit of an art project too. So
okay,
Well,
what are we making today?
We are going to make salad niçoise. And this is a French composed salad, and kids can learn that in France people shop most every day at the market and bring home what's fresh and good. I'm using the ingredients that you see here, but the substitutions are always welcome. It contains the proteins from the eggs and the tuna, and the fresh vegetables, some olives and potatoes, and fresh herbs.
And it is. And looking at the picture from the cookbook, it is like an art project because it's going to look really beautiful when we're done.
Yeah.
So are we starting with just like the base?
We're starting with the romaine lettuce. That's the base. It's decoration, but it's one you can eat. So I never put food on a plate that can't be eaten. There's nothing that's just there because it looks pretty. Okay. And then I got some butter lettuce today, mixed butter lettuces, which also look
very pretty.
Very pretty. Yeah, they add some color to it. And from there, if your child is very small, you can ask them just to help you arrange things on the salad. Kids of any age would like to do this. So the next item would be the potatoes.
And are these potatoes that are raw, boiled?
The potatoes have been boiled, and it's kind of important that once you boil them, you just set them in the fridge for an hour or so. The easiest thing to do is do it overnight. Get something ready the night before when you're making dinner. Prep these for the next night's dinner. Then this is something that, as you'll see, goes together really fast.
And I wouldn't think potatoes in a salad.
No, but that sounds really good.
Yeah. Well, if the French do it, I'm there.
Well,
right. I know, they're all thin. Yeah, handle it.
These are little French beans called haricots verts, but you could use any kind of a green bean. The cookbook asks you to cook the beans in boiling water for 5 minutes, but these were so thin I just did them for about 2 or 3 because you want it to still have a nice crunch to it. Okay. After that, we have our tuna, which I usually just kind of put right in the middle as kind of a centerpiece. And again, another protein, the hard-boiled eggs go around the edge, and my book does teach people how to do a perfect hard-boiled egg. So that's something that other people don't know.
Yes, that's a skill in itself. And if you've got one of those eaters who's maybe not digging the fish just yet, they can also get that protein from the egg, which is great.
Oh, sure. So there we have that, and then of course, cherry tomatoes. You could use tomato wedges. You could use tomato slices. Oops.
I just love the color that adds, that pop of red.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And while we're kind of putting this together, Lisa, if you had to pick one recipe out of the book that was maybe your favorite for kids, do you have one? Or are they so great you're like, you can't pick just one?
I would have a hard time picking one, but I did like this one and chose it for today because it's colorful, because a kid is going to find something in here that they're going to like.
Yeah.
And they'll try something else that's new because they helped make it, as you said. So these are really fun. Of course, there's a spaghetti and meatballs. Every kid loves spaghetti and meatballs, so that's in there too. And a lot of good Italian recipes. And that was my heritage, was Italian. So.
Ooh, you have something in common.
Yay!
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go
And you
ahead.
know what's going to happen with the olives? Everybody did this at Thanksgiving, is you put the olives on the ends of your fingers.
Oh, sure.
And then, you know, wave them around and then eat them.
I have pictures of all my nieces and my daughters doing that. And my daughters, I made that plural. I only have one.
One daughter. But it's, you know, it's a timeless thing. Every kid did it at some point.
Sure. So then we're going to put together a simple dressing. And people might think a salad dressing is a complicated thing, but it's very, very
This one
easy.
Starts with 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, and then about 5 or 6 tablespoons of olive oil.
And it is. I think people think that they have to get it jarred, that they can't make it at home because it causes, you know, it's too many things or too many ingredients. But really, a lot of the stuff you probably already have in your refrigerator.
Most people have it
Yeah.
in their pantry or their refrigerator. Sure, oil and vinegar. And a fun way to let the kids make the dressing is to put the ingredients in a jar and have them shake it until it's emulsified. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they have a picture right here
yeah,
showing that.
That's right.
And it won't be a mess, and then they still have fun.
Yep, so we have the extra virgin.
The olive oil, and then 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of ground pepper.
Again, things we all have in our pantries or in our refrigerator.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to...
Now, of course, we have all these different, you know, from Italy and France and everything. Did you travel some to get these?
I did do some traveling,
Yeah.
yes. I went to France, I went to Italy, I went to Japan. And in all of those places, anytime I go somewhere, I always want to go to their farmers markets, their local markets, and to have a home-cooked meal.
Herbs.
The last ingredient is dill. Now, you could use
dill.
any kind of fresh herbs here. I've got dill, and I would always suggest when you're cooking with your kids, have them look at the herbs, smell it, taste it, see what it looks like when it's growing, and better yet, plant some in a little container garden in your kitchen window or on your back step. And I say kitchen window because I'm from Minnesota, so, you know, they'd
Yes.
be dead if they were on the back step. But in Arizona here, you could have a nice little herb garden outdoors all year round, and the kids could handle that on their own.
And I
So
also
I'm
want to, are we just going to just whisk it
just
together?
whisking it together.
And again, we could put it in the jar and let the kids kind of, you know, shake it around a little bit. Either way. And also, Lisa, while you're getting that all together to throw onto the salad, tell me a little bit about something coming up next year.
Oh, well, that has to do with how I got to Tucson in the first place. I met Kathy Bell and her daughter Lizzie when they were at the Ronald McDonald House in Minneapolis. Invited out here. Their John P. Bell Foundation has family education, health. That all fit with the cooking and what I was doing. She said, come on out. Well, one of the things they've got planned for next year is the Great Hula-Hoop Challenge. And in Tucson, in early next year, you're going to get more information about this. 5,000 people hula hooping for 7 minutes, Guinness World Book of Records.
Well, we're going to have to pause there and find out more about that next year, right? That was a nice little teaser you gave us. And you can get Lisa Wagner's book and Your Kids in the Kitchen today by logging on the scarlettapress.com or by visiting your favorite bookseller. You can also meet Lisa at Barnes & Noble West tonight at 6 p.m.